Hello, and thank you for watching Kaluna Creations. In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make a box pencil case or makeup bag, rather like this one. So this is the kind of shape that we're going to be hoping to create, and the only difference between this one and the one that we're going to be making is this one has a lining, whereas the one that we're going to be doing today is a little bit simpler by leaving out the lining. Now if you do want to know how to make one with a lining, I will be doing a tutorial for that another day. Now if you are a complete beginner to sewing, if you'd like to follow this link up here, it'll show you what equipment you're going to be needing. Otherwise, if you'd like to keep watching, and I'll tell you what fabric measurements you're going to be needing. Now the measurements for this one are 28 centimetres this way by 18 centimetres this way. And we've got two of these, so nice and easy. And we've also got a zip. That is 38 centimetres long. Now you don't need to have it 38 centimetres long, I'm just using this one because that's what I've got in stock. As long as it's longer than 28 centimetres, that'll do. I'm just going to be trimming mine down when it comes to that stage. Now I've also got a couple of fabric tabs that I'm going to be using to help it open and close. And these are 6 centimetres long by 2 centimetres wide. And I've got two of them. And that's it. So what we're going to do with this one is grab one of your pieces of fabric facing upwards, then grab your zip with the tuggy bit facing down towards your fabric. And all we're going to do is go forwards backwards here, then sew all the way along, go forwards backwards here. Now if you have actually got the correct size zip, and so it's more like that, and ignore this bit, when you sew along here you'll probably find when you come to this round hard bit, your sewing machine won't want to go round it. So if you stop here and leave your needle in the machine, lift your presser foot, then simply unzip that part just so that that chunky bit goes further down. Then put your presser foot back down, and then you'll be able to sew to the other end no trouble. Okay, I shall go do that on my machine and then I will come back. So we've got our zip sewn onto the first piece here. Now what we need to do is grab our second piece of fabric facing down, just fold the zip up and clip it in the right place, making sure that you're lining up with these pieces, just so that it's all nice and neat. So clip that on. There we go. So same as the other side, so all the way along, going forwards backwards at the start and finish. I shall go and do that and I will bring it back. So we've got our second line of stitching in, so now all of this is held together with the zip. So the next job is to iron this flat, and if you've used a zip that's got plastic teeth like me, make sure you don't put your iron over the top of this, keep it to the one side because otherwise you'll melt the teeth. And once that's done, I'm also just going to run it down the sewing machine, down here and down here, go forwards backwards at the start and finish, just to give it a line of top stitching, hold that zip back, make it look real neat. If you don't want to do that stage, it's not a problem. It's just a personal preference. I just like to have that little bit of top stitching showing. So I shall go and do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like. so we've got our top stitching in here, looking nice and neat. So that's just holds back the zip nicely. That's not going to go anywhere now. Now the next job is to sew along the bottom. So real simple, easy. Clip or pin your corners at the bottom together, like that. So you've got the orange in the middle. And all we want to do is sew all the way along here, remembering to go forwards, backwards at the start and forwards, backwards at the end. So I've sewed along all the way along the bottom now. So the next job is to just go over to your ironing board and flatten down this seam, pressing both sides each way, alright, just so that it is nice and easy when we come to the next stage. It's not going to want to pop back at all. Now, to make our lives easier, we're going to open the zip now, because if we forget, then we're not going to be able to turn our bag inside out. So what we want to do, firstly grab one of our tabs, fold it so that your pattern is on the outside and your plain bit's on the middle, and place it on top of the zip, just here, like so. Then we want to place our seam on top of that as well, like that. And so that it doesn't wriggle around at all, we're also going to pin or clip it shut, like that. I'm not going to be able to see that, are we? Can you see that? Oop, there you go. So basically our tab is going to lay right at the bottom of our zip. Now we're going to do exactly the same on this side. So again, fold your tab in half, place it so it's halfway between the seam, pop this on top on both sides, like so, make sure that it's flat, yeah. And then clip it shut on both sides so that it doesn't wriggle. Like that. Yeah. Lovely. So now that's in place, just checking, yep. What we want to do is put another line of stitching in. Thought that didn't feel right. There we go. Just make sure that's not moved anything here. No, we're good. So we want to put in a line of stitching along here, going forwards, backwards at the start and at the end, but also put in some extra reinforcement around where we've put in our tab. Then once that line's in, take it round to the other side and do exactly the same. Forwards, backwards at the start, go forwards, backwards over where we've put our tab, and then forwards, backwards at the end. I should go do that and I'll bring it back. There we go. So we've got both of our sides sewn down now. Now, what we need to do next is just trim off any excess zip. Now obviously if you've got to use the right size zip, then you won't need to do this bit, but I do, because this bag isn't going to be lined. So all of this is going to be on show, so we want it to be nice and neat. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to be creating our boxy shape. Now how we're going to do that is just pinching in the sides and sewing across like that, just to give it a bit of height. Now the way I found is the easiest way of doing this is literally pulling the fabric so that it makes a triangle, like that. Just check on the other side that it's doing the same, so that you end up with a nice even one. So that looks good. Now if you line it up with your cutting mat, if you've got one, it makes life a little bit easier again. And all I'm going to do is flatten out that seam, and as soon as I hit 6 centimeters down, which is there, so I've got 2.5 and then 3, so that's not quite even. Let's bring it a bit further that way. So 3, there we go. So that is where we want to do our line of stitching. Also, just so nothing wriggles, put a couple of clips in there so you know that's going to be okay. And do the same on the other side. So flatten out the seam like that. Then bring our ruler down so that we've got 3 centimeters each way again. That looks good to me. And then flip it shut like that. Like that. And that is where you're going to do your line of stitching, along that line. Right, so we got our seams in on all 4 sides. Our next job, because this hasn't got a lining, is just to cut the excess fabric off. Now I like to do this with a ruler and my rotary cutter, but if you haven't got that, then feel free to just use some scissors. And just because all the rest of them have got about 5mm allowance, I've gone the same here. So you've got the same amount there as you have there. And go around and do all 4. Last one. There we go. Nice and neat. So we can just pull this back out the other way now. Pushing out the corners. Like so. There we are. There we have it. Our nice little box bag. Like I say, if you did want to make it taller, all you'd need to do is, instead of going for that 6 centimeter on the side, so instead of here, you can go larger if you want, or shallower, depends what you want to put in there. So there we have it. Very cute little box bag. Ready and raring to go. And there we have it. Our very cool, unlined box pencil case or makeup bag. I hope that you're really pleased with your results. I know I am. Now, if you do love this particular pencil case, or even the one that I showed you at the start of the video, this one here, both of them are available to buy on my website, and also half of the prices shown on there gets given to charity. So you're doing a bit of good whilst getting something cool. Now if you do enjoy this tutorial, please do like and subscribe, and that way every time I put on a new video it will let you know, and hopefully it'll inspire you to try something new. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye!